and good evening. It's a little bit after 6 o'clock here in Southern California. My name is Don. Thank you very much for stopping by. It has been an emotional roller coaster for me. I was uh, given an opportunity to end this trail of tears, but the problem is that that answer was a little bit too far. It had um, too many catches, you might say. Um, but I also hooked up with the person who's trying to help me because that person was probably on the phone with her bosses. And the good news is that she is now free to help me out and other people that she's helping. I know it's kind of like, what's he talking about? It's been a long day. And if you are a person who was kind of hoping that our president was going to start acting presidential during this time of fear and loathing, he kind of almost did. I mean, yes, he opened up his news conference by calling COVID-19 the uh, the Chinese virus again. Um, I'll give him a pass because it's Trump. And he basically talked about a lot of the progress that has been made in this country in terms of trying to fight this mysterious malady. By the way, if you heard uh, a bell, that was something coming through my phone. So if you heard that, I apologize. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Then came the part where this reporter for NBC News, name I can't come up with right now, I should start writing these things down, asked the president to, how do you, uh, what do you tell people who are kind of frightened right now? And the president said, well, I tell them that you're a bad reporter. And he went on to the next person. And unfortunately, I decided that was the time that I was going to turn it off because I just couldn't take it much more. People who wonder why we are not kissing the butt of our president more, or at least as much as other people are. Please understand, we know that this is not necessarily at the standard that we wish we had presidents, but he is the president right now. He is the guy who's trying to 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 calm the fears of a very nervous America, because we're being told that this virus is pretty much going to kill half this country. That's what we've been told over and over and over. And the president's job is to say, no matter what you've heard, we're going to get out of this, and we're going. Sorry about that, too. Hold on just a second. Let me just do something here. And I hope that that takes care of that. Again, this president's job is to calm our fears and tell this country everything's going to be all right. And to a certain extent, that is what he has done. Yes, he's been very flowery and very upbeat, probably too upbeat in some cases. But I think that's what he feels the country needs. He needs encouragement. And this reporter for NBC News, and by the way, NBC just lost a cameraman to this coronavirus. He was an African American man, and he was 25. So much for those theories. When your response to a question is, what do you tell a nervous America who they're thinking that, I'm going to die anytime in the next 8 weeks. This guy was actually giving Donald Trump an opening to be presidential. And what did he say? You're a bad reporter. Now, some people were enjoying this because they think that all reporters who are not working for Fox News are smug. But smug or not, this is supposed to be the time we should, whatever problems we have with whoever, whether it be the press or Trump or whatever, we should ease them aside, until the time we can go ahead and do that again. And hopefully in the next few months we would be able to. But for Donald Trump to do that, it makes me wonder how well equipped this man is to being a president. And there's nothing you can do about it. There really is nothing you can do about it. Now, the remarks and a few other things makes me think about certain ideas I have in my head, which if I mentioned those ideas could probably get me kicked off of social media. But it has been a really rough day. This comes after a really rough night when every single one of us here in California were told to stay in our homes. Some of us are not that lucky, as if you've been watching these broadcasts, you probably know that by now. We've been told that people who don't have homes they're working very hard to try to find a way to help those people, but unfortunately, it's starting to seem that a lot of that help may not necessarily be help. It may very well be the ghettoization of the homeless once again, being placed in those areas that we kind of guess the homeless are more tolerated than other areas. Instead of helping people where they are, we'll just move them over to some ersatz concentration camp so we can keep an eye on you until this whole thing blows over. And maybe, just maybe, we might be able to help you get some sort of place. That's not going to work either. Well, last night, California was told that for the most part, you have to stay home. You can leave to take a walk around the grounds. You can go to your local food store, dollar store, pharmacy, washaterias and dry cleaning places are open. But anything else that is not, quote, in a situation where it is where that particular business is, quote, necessary. Like we don't really need a pool hall open, or we don't really need a Best Buy open. Then you can stay closed until further notice, and that notice may not come for anywhere from between the next 3 weeks to the next 2 or 3 months. People are talking about things that were scheduled in April being pushed back to June, July, August. And people don't know whether or not we'll be dealing with this whole thing by then. It's scary times. And today I'm looking out at the streets, and I'm looking at the businesses and stuff like that. And quite frankly, a lot of places that I thought were closed are open. The local TV rental place is open. The Cricket Wireless and nail and hair salon is closed. I mean the Cricket place is closed. I'm sorry. Also, the nail and hair salon are closed. But we still have traffic. It's not lighter than it usually is, but it's going along at a pretty brisk pace. They're not going to enforce it really strongly. They're hoping that people will be shamed into doing the quote right thing unquote. But if they do stop you, it's a $250 fine. But here's the thing that it's just something that that has my mind going a little bit. Here in Los Angeles, the second biggest city in America, unless you read the press releases from Chicago, we have 292 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in this area. There is some testing. It's not as robust as some other places, so maybe that's one of the reasons why the number is relatively low. But here in Los Angeles, it's about 292. Could cross the 300 person mark sometime tomorrow. Almost 700 in Seattle, King County, Washington, that up until a few weeks ago was the epicenter of this entire thing. And we were wondering what's going on in Washington until you find out what's going on in New York City. This is not the state, this is the city. Almost 4,000 cases in New York City alone. As Mayor de Blasio said today, the city is, in essence, the epicenter of the COVID-19 situation. It kind of makes you think that, you're very lucky if you're not living in New York City, but they keep telling us that more is to come. Our governor has told Washington that because of some program that they ran, but within the next 8 weeks, half the state will be infected with COVID-19. And yes, I am scared. 65, a few health problems. You may not be worried about me being around YouTube anymore or social media. But what happens if we have the testing and the numbers don't go up as much as everybody else thinks they're going to go up? And what is happening in New York? Is it more testing, or is there something else going on in New York that's causing this rapid explosion of cases? We don't know. The bill they have in Congress right now, the stimulus package that basically is supposed to give every American $1,000 at least. I'm wondering if that's going to include people like me who are on Social Security and on a very, 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 very limited income. It would be nice to get that $1,000, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. Uh, People are saying, well, hey, they know exactly how important Social Security payments are. They'll probably give it to you. Um, this is the Trump administration. Probably is not good enough for me. Outside of that, that's basically it. Uh, I don't think I'll be doing this every day, but I will try to do this as much as possible, basically because we have almost 1,000 subscribers, and I think maybe one or two of them like to know if the guy they're subscribing to is all right. We are really close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, by the way, if you're on YouTube. So if you are new to this, please hit the subscribe button. And when you ring that bell, ring the bell for all notifications. That way you know that you're going to get a notification every time we either go live or put something up that we've chopped up together. If you're on Twitch, we're on Radio Don 55. We're not there today because, quite frankly, we don't have enough numbers to justify going up there. POLYBI, the number 2. You can figure things out when you spell it out. That's where we are on both Periscope and Twitter. And, of course, Radio Don, the number 1 on YouTube. Now I'm going to go get me something to eat, and then I'm going to go to bed. And hopefully I will stay well. I hope that you stay well. I hope that you are able to wash your hands regularly. And by the way, if you're not in a situation where you can wash your hands, please use as much hand sanitizer often as possible. It's not washing your hands that's the best thing. We're done. Thank you for watching, and we will talk to you later.